Tonight we're going deep, beyond ghost stories and internet myths, into what Islam actually says about the jinn, who they are, how they interact with us, why some people try to use them for seeker, magic, and how all of this ends on the Day of Judgment. What are jinn, really? In the Quran, Allah tells us He created the jinn from smokeless fire, a smokeless flame. Quran 55:15, also 15:27. They are an unseen creation with free will. They can believe or disbelieve, obey or disobey, just like humans. They eat, marry, have children, live and die. Entire surahs address them, especially Surah Al-Jinn. We also learn that Iblis, the devil, is from the jinn, Quran 18:50. He refused to bow to Adam and became our declared enemy. That verse alone destroys the idea that he was a fallen angel. The Quran is explicit. Can jinn be controlled? Only by Allah's permission. The Quran says Allah subjected certain jinn to Prophet Solomon, peace be upon him. They built, dived, and worked under his command, by Allah's command, not human sorcery. See Saba 34:12, 13, and Anbiya 21:82. This was a miracle for a prophet, not a do-it-yourself manual for us. When people today claim to enslave jinn, they're talking about forbidden seer, seeking help from devils through shirk and corruption. Islam forbids it entirely. Magic, seer. What Islam says, and why it's serious. The Quran warns about seer in 102, the tale of Babylon, a test for people prone to chasing forbidden power. True Islamic scholarship is unanimous. Seer is haram. Learning, teaching, or practicing it is a grave sin. Any power that comes with it is a trap that ruins faith and harms people. Possession and the Qarin. A Qarin, a jinn companion, accompanies every person. This is mentioned in Sahih Muslim. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said that even he had a Qarin, but Allah helped him so his Qarin only inclined to good. This explains whispers and temptations, but it does not justify blaming jinn for every mistake. As for possession, Muslims have reported cases throughout history. Scholars distinguish between whispers, influence, and overt possession. Islam prescribes ruqyah, Quranic recitation and prophetic supplications, as a lawful, faith-based remedy, while also seeking medical and psychological care. Islam never teaches rituals to summon or command jinn. Seeking help from them is disobedience and spiritual danger. Over the centuries, stories spread about people who tried to summon or control jinn. These practices are not from Islam. They are actually forms of sihr and misguidance. Examples: reciting Quranic verses backwards, a blasphemous act that twists Allah's words. Isolating themselves in filthy or abandoned places, since devils and evil jinn prefer impurity and darkness. Reading Surah Al-Jinn or other verses with corrupt intentions, not as worship, but as a spell. Offering sacrifices or food to the unseen, which is pure shirk. People who attempt these things are not drawing power from Allah, but instead inviting the company of shayatin. The result is never true control. Instead, the jinn misled, lie, and eventually destroy the person's faith. In fact, scholars warn that anyone who tries these methods may lose their connection to the Quran, to Salah, and to Allah Himself, which is exactly what Iblis wants. What about ghosts? Islam does not teach that dead humans wander around as ghosts. Reports of hauntings are typically explained as jinn activity, psychological phenomena, or environmental factors. Jinn can imitate voices, mimic shapes, and mislead. That's why Muslims are taught to stay within halal protection, not superstition. Real stories. What has been reported across the modern world, you'll find reported cases of alleged possession and mass episodes. For example, Malaysia, 2016. A school shut due to reported sightings of a black figure, described by locals as jinn. Media called it mass hysteria. Indonesia, recurring reports of possession in schools and factories. Journalists and researchers have covered these events for years. Documentaries and investigations into ruqyah and backstreet exorcisms show how some people seek faith-based help. Sometimes when mental health care is what they actually need. Islam stresses ethics, consent, and safeguarding. Scholars, doctors, and sociologists warn that some outbreaks can be mass psychogenic illness, real symptoms triggered by stress and suggestion, so Muslims are encouraged to consult qualified clinicians alongside recognized, ethical ruqya practitioners. Can humans make jinn their slaves? Short answer, no, this is not an Islamic path. Outside of Prophet Sulaiman's miracle, trying to subjugate jinn involves haram practices, invoking devils, sacrilege, and explicit disobedience. Even if someone claims results, it's a spiritual scam that costs the heart more than it ever earns. Why jinn harm some people? Classical explanations mention reasons like enmity, injustice. Humans harming jinn unknowingly, for example, by throwing hot water without care. Infatuation, a jinn's sinful attachment. Magicians' commands, seer. Or weak spiritual defenses, sin, heedlessness. But Islam never blames victims. The prophetic way is to seek Allah, seek treatment, and avoid oppression of any kind. The Sunnah way of protection, high-level, non-ritual. Guard Tawheed, Salah, Dhikr, and halal living. Regularly recite Ayat al-Kursi and the Mu'awwidhatain, Surahs al-Falaq and an-Nas. They are described as the best protection in authentic narrations. Keep a clean environment, avoid sinful media, and say Bismillah before entering places, eating, and at night. If you're suffering, seek ethical ruqya and qualified medical/mental health care together. Deliberately, I'm not giving step-by-step procedures. Islam forbids DIY occultism and unsafe practices. Judgment Day for the Jinn Quran and Hadith make it clear. Jinn will also be resurrected and judged. Believing jinn who obeyed Allah will be rewarded. Rebellious jinn and humans who allied in sin will face the consequences. Final word, fear less, trust more. Jinn exist, so do germs, grief, and gossip. We navigate all of them the same way, with tawheed, knowledge, ethics, and responsibility. Don't chase shortcuts, don't hand your life to charlatans. Hold on to Allah and take every lawful means to heal. If this helped, please like, subscribe, and share. May Allah protect us from seen and unseen harm, guide us to what pleases Him, and make our homes places of Quran and mercy. Ameen.